Good morning. So I woke up at 6:06 this morning and it felt like Spirit was saying that we're stepping through a portal. So for the longest time, I felt like if there was a one in the middle, that the energy of the number was being mirrored. Like Spirit was saying, we're showing you this. How do you feel about it? What do you want to do about it, if anything? Like, if it doesn't make you feel good, what do you want to do about it? And if it does make you feel good, how are you going to create more of it? How are you going to have gratitude for it showing up? Um, a lot of mirroring of life lessons, of um, growth and necessary changes, mindset changes, physical changes, um, interaction changes, things like that were a lot of what 2025 brought in. But as we close out that year, which that was a year of nine, maybe nine is important for you right now, and we go into 2026, um, I'm starting to see a lot more of the zero being reflected. And each time it brings to mind to me um, a portal of reflection. Whereas before it was more like this is the mirror, right? The wall. The mirror is on the wall. And we're showing you, we're reflecting back. And I dealt with a lot of like reflecting back um, things that some were like, oh, that's so cool. And others were just like, no longer there. Or others were just like, that's some growing. But now it's starting to be like, okay, this is the energy. Step through the portal. So when that showed up for me at 6:06, I knew that I needed to come and pull some cards. So I spent a little bit more time hanging out. Um, my son is sleeping, but he's still 7, so it's so cute to have that cuddle time even when he's sleeping. Um, and I spent some more time with that, and now I'm here with you guys because I wanted to sort of dive into that 6:06 vibe that came out for me this morning and see where else it takes us. So I did a blind box pull, which means I pretty much just stand there where all my boxes are and just sort of feel where the energy buzzes, which is also how I do body work. Um, yes, I know muscles and anatomy and all that type of stuff, but the vibe, sorry, this table and carpet combination is creating this weird wobbliness. Okay. Okay. Um, and maybe that's a message to like feel into your world. Like everything has a resonance. Um, and we are able to feel whether that resonance is for us or not. And as a species, many of us are no longer as nomadic physically as we used to be. Um, and we also don't think nomadically because we're thinking from a place of um, structure, stability, fear, quantifiable success, and then what others are going to think about that. So, I mean, I got a lot going on. Okay, this is my first time reading from this corner, um, but I didn't really want to sit at the table, so we're figuring it out. But okay, the first box of the first deck that called was the Messages from Spirit Animals Oracle deck by Stephen D. Farmer. This was one of my first Oracle decks that I got. And we're gonna I've had it for many, many years. I love the texture. It's so textured. Um, so maybe that's important for someone very sensory, understanding your own sensory needs. Sorry, I have the mic right on my shirt, so if the cards are loud, my apologies. And I'm recording this, hoping y'all can hear it, hoping that the mic is working because I don't want to talk too loud. As I said, my son is still sleeping and it's winter break. So, as a single mother, I'm enjoying the quiet chill of the morning, you know? Okay, so we have the gorilla. Take time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. And then we have the cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them into equilibrium. So I felt like we were going to start with two cards, and I got two cards. But we're gonna get first into this gorilla. Take the time to listen compassionately to those you love, especially your family members. So this has been a big theme for me this year, and the the word that's standing out for me is compassionately. Compassionate listening. Compassionate listening means that we open our hearts, and it doesn't mean that we become squishy, moldable Play Doh. It means that we become vast. Compassionate listening means that we become vast, we become deep. Um, so think like the ocean or a desert full of quadrillions of grains of sand. Compassionate listening allows us to recognize and listen and notice the grains of sand while also not being engulfed in it. It allows us to recognize the buoy that's floating while not needing to bob along with it. Compassionate listening. Like when we think about compassion, compassion nowadays comes with an a little side order of pity, and I really feel like we should stop ordering that. um, because we can listen compassionately, being open, being vast and deep in how we receive what someone else is saying, which also allows us to not wind ourselves into it. So when we listen with pity, when people listen with pity, they clasp to change the person's situation. They clasp to um, placate the person. they clasp to uh, give those, like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And it may not be, right? It may not be okay. And you can listen with compassion and sit in the this is not okay, the vastness, the depth of truth, right? And really, really allowing yourself to be able to love. So, like, this is the gorilla and it's the silverback, the leader, the protector. So, like, it's it's allowing you to, because when we, sorry, my brain is like blah 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 blah, it's so much coming through right now. When we run off into flights of fearful fancy, flights of uh yeah, flights of fearful fancy with either ourselves or the person that we're listening to, we're not being a leader or a protector for our soul and spirit at that time, because we've we've gone like this and ran off with um the fear or the the sadness or the oppression, right? Like, we can honor a feeling, we can honor sadness, we can honor fear by letting something be sad, feeling it and seeing it through, and then moving. It's interesting because normally through goes left to right, and I pushed it right to left just now. So we're putting all of that in the past. And we're allowing feelings to hold space but not take over. Okay. The second deck that called to me was the Guardian Angels deck, which was really interesting how it called because it came very clear in my mind. Um, because I would not have reached, I was standing there at the opening, I would not have reached to it immediately because it was behind some other things. So it came very clearly to me. So there's a definitely some stuff in here. And this first card talks about compassionately listening to those you love, and these cards are shaped in heart shapes as well. And this is the Guardian Angels deck, Loving Memories from the Angels, a deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. I feel like there's going to be two. Thank you. So the first one is not the first. The first one I pulled out is not the first one we're talking about. The first one we're talking about is acceptance, which is exactly what I was just saying. We have to be able. Okay, and I flipped the card. I flipped the deck, um, word side up when I put them in the box, and the bottom of the deck was forgiveness. So acceptance. There's nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternal, radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. So this coming in with this acceptance card, and with the forgiveness card showing itself, right? I think I'm gonna pull that out because it keeps coming back to my mind. With the forgiveness card coming out, accept what you've been through, accept who people have been, accept who people are being, right? Accept when you've spoken your piece and you see people trying, and remember that trying starts with baby steps, okay? So we don't go jump clean back. Like, just because you jumped into the ocean, just because you walked into the desert, does not mean that you have walked every mile. Just because you swam in the ocean does not mean that you swam every inch of it, top to bottom, left to right, all the way around. There's so much that is unknown, both about someone else and about yourself. And we have to accept all that we think we know and still move forward. Just accept the flaws, accept, not like accept them like you take them on, right? There's a difference between accepting something for what it is and leaving it as it is. Like, I am not this table, I am me. I am not you, I am me. I am not this wall, I am me. But I am me, but I'm not this. I'm not even this face. I own this face. I possess this face, but I am more than this face. I accept when this face has a pimple. I accept when there's a scar. I accept when I haven't gotten all my laundry done. I accept when I'm too tired to clean my house. I accept when there's a as a clairaudient person, I accept when there is dissonance in the field between me and someone when we're talking, if when that dissonance was not there before. I accept that what is being created between me and that person's soul energy, there's something dissonant. Acceptance, and that doesn't mean that I am blaming. I'm just an acceptance. And that is how we lead. That is how we teach. We accept how someone needs to learn, how someone needs to be handled. We accept how someone may need space in order for them to not be so wound in the you, in your involvement. Confirmation bird. And a second one. And a third one. Goodness gracious. I'm going to repeat that because what? So we accept the space when we are coming up against dissonance, right? So a silverback protects the community of gorillas and the territory that they're in. And there can be multiple, like, males in a community, but there's typically one, maybe two, that, and even in that, there's a hierarchy, that are the true leader. But they're not always fighting the younger ones for their place. They have their place. They accept their place and they accept the other's place. And it allows for this sense of communal calm. The forgiveness card, I feel, goes on the heels of that, because in this here year, and I'm recording this in 2025, and you may be listening to it at another time. And if you are, That's so beautiful. Hello. Um, the theme of your year may have been a lot of acceptance, a lot of spaciousness, a lot of reflection, and not because you're building stories against, you're just accepting what is being shown, understanding what is yours and what isn't, compassionately listening to people while not trying to save them from whatever it is, not adding to the narrative of their woes. Just accepting what you've seen. And in that can grow this forgiveness. Holding on to past hurts is preventing you from moving forward and achieving your heart's desires. Let it go. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone another's actions. It simply means that you are no longer willing to be a perpetual victim to a particular person or event. Blame is a waste of your precious energy. Bless and surrender the past, for in doing so, you will reclaim the joy of life. So as I read that, it brought up a very specific um, thing for me in my mind. And it was something with a family member, a parent. And I had created space because I accepted that I had a lot of past hurts that would never be apologized for, that would never be owned up to. And I spent time in sort of a sabbatical from this person in order to clear my heart, in order to um, comfort and heal and grow those younger parts of self that still wanted retribution. And when I found a place of stillness, calm waters, wholeness, sans that person, was when I re engaged with that person. And at that time, they showed up and they agreed to show up. They sat down, they ordered food. And then after ordering food, they decided to walk up. And in that day, I said, huh, I accept. I accept. Because I knew that I had done the work to be whole and free. And I was going to remain whole and free. And I was not going to let what was happening undo that. Because I had spent time forgiving. And that's the thing. Sometimes we have to take space to forgive, which is why when you're going into new relationships, we have to speak up for the dissonances. We have to honor the dissonances. We have to honor. I've I've done an interesting thing this year that I never really used to do, which was sort of toggle. And what I mean by that is that like we get these urges to expand a relationship with someone, right? And I tend to answer the call, but I did it in a different way this year of like being very clear and verbal about like we're going to take these steps. Are you in agreement that we're going to take these steps to explore more of this ocean, this desert space, right? Inspect more of these um actually not even desert, because I'm no longer inspecting the grains of sand of those who can't hear me. So we're going to inspect more of this ocean. We're going to float further out, further down this stream, further out into this ocean. And also being very clear and forgiving about when the dissonances arise that are out of alignment with the life that spirit is guiding me to, and not holding any animosity about who that person is or who they could be. Maybe they're not ready, and that's okay. But it doesn't mean that the leader needs to stop all the time. We can still be like, okay, let's 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 step it back a bit because something's happening that's causing a lot of dissonance, but we don't seem to be seeing it the same way. So you unpack what you have to unpack, and I have seen what I saw. I accept it. I accept what I saw. And I'm not going to try to change what I saw. It's not for me to try to change it, which is another form of acceptance and forgiveness of like, I accept what I saw. I'm not fond of it. I accept it. Things that were done at me. I'm saying at me for a reason because a lot of times things are done at us, not to us. They're done at us because they're being projected. So we are seeing someone's inner world via a projection. So it's being done at us. I forgive you, you're not seeing clearly. And we move on, right? The final card that came out was love, which listen compassionately to those you love. Negative thoughts and feelings are sabotaging your pursuit of happiness. We, your angels, are here to help you heal. Allow your healing light to flow through your heart. Consciously infuse each negative thought or feeling with love and light. Feel both your heart and mind aligning to your soul's sacred purpose, and unleash your divine potential through the power of love. Yeah, it's time. It's time, babes. So when I'm recording this, we are closing out December, going into the final week of 2025. Ooh, I just had a ping in the back of my neck. Oh. So we are closing out December of 2025. We have one more week left in this, one more week and a few days left in this calendar year. And I feel like with this card, with the gorilla and the gorilla, silverback gorilla, acceptance, forgiveness, love, like be done in such a beautiful way. Be done, but in such a beautiful way. Unpack your animosity. Unpack your animosity and let it dissolve. Let it dissolve. Open up that suitcase. Open up that backpack. Open up that closet. Open up that box of animosities, of angers, of fears, of letdowns. Open it up and you will see, when you do your own work, when you do your own mapping, when you do your own. And I'm not saying you gotta leave your job, you gotta leave your family, you gotta leave, but there is a lot of space that must be created for your full silverback to emerge. Because then you're not looking for someone else to protect you. You're not looking for someone else to love you. You love yourself. You're not looking for someone else to accept you. You accept yourself. You're not looking for someone else to forgive you. You forgive yourself. You are your first family member. Because you're not your soul. This body is not your soul. This body, this brain are your first family members. You have to accept what your body's bringing you. You have to forgive what your mind is telling you so that you can see the world clearly. And while the world may definitely, most definitely confirm some of the wildest things that your mind tells you, that your mind computes to you, the world will also show you a better way. And you can find your way in that way, piece by piece, day by day, moment by moment, decision by decision. Okay?